Facebook is online. Periscope is online.
Not from me, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just check.
Andre is still not in the queue, so let me see if I can. You want me to bring Andre in now? I'll wait a little bit. Let me get set
uh-oh,
up here.
that's not good. Okay, well, the recording stopped, but that's okay. Unexpected error during recording.
YouTube is online.
And again, my twinkle backgrounds have lost their twinkle. I do not know why this happens. It may just be that it's just too much for the computer to be doing. I don't know.
There's 3.
Hang on 1 second then. So let me bring in an image. 1280 by 350, yes.
Yeah, give me a few minutes too. I'm kind of.
I was going to say, yeah, I think we can bring him in.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna. Whoops, OBS has crashed. Would you like to copy the crash log on the clipboard? Alright, I'm not using OBS, Eric. I'm not risking it right now.
Okay, yeah. I am not seeing. There's the countdown. Okay, there we are.
Alright, we're all online.
I love it. Yeah. So how you doing?
Man, I can't complain.
Oh,
And when I tell you every day is a holiday, I woke up this morning, it made it a holiday.
there you go. There you go. It's what you make it. I don't care if it's every day is Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. You just got to treat yourself and people just like Christmas, New Year's, and every day.
That's it. That's the only way to be. That's the only way to live.
Absolutely, man. It's all in what you make. Your choice.
That's it. That's it.
Your choice.
You can't blame it on nobody else but yourself.
Yeah.
So how did you get your first start in the rodeo? How did you get your first start, on a horse and gain things started in life for you?
Oh wow. I felt like I was born on top of a horse. I've been riding horses since I can remember here in Kansas City. Even I used to ride my horse to school.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, on a
You
daily
sound
basis
like
here in Kansas City.
1800s there. You got a horse to school?
Yeah, oh yeah, man, let me tell you, while everybody else got their fancy beats and riding a bus and nice rims on their cars,
Yes.
I pulled up on a horse. And
I never heard of that. Love it, man.
let me tell you about this. So I went to performing arts school, right? But we had a soccer field. We didn't have a soccer team, but we had a soccer field.
Oh.
What reason, I don't know. But I used to tie my horse up in the soccer field. And one day, my gym teacher wrote me up. And I hope you're watching right now. He wrote me up for parking my horse in the soccer field.
Oh my goodness. I guess horse stealing was just like back in the old West. You might get hung for horse stealing back then. But he wrote you up for it. At least he didn't steal it.
Exactly,
Wrong.
exactly.
Stealing.
Then we would have had a problem.
That's funny. I've never heard of that today. In this day and age, whatever, drive the horse to school.
Oh yeah, so I grew up with horses, grew up riding horses, grew up breaking horses. So I would say I consider myself going from a cowboy to a horseman because it's a big difference in the two. Back then I was riding bucking horses and breaking wild horses, Mustangs, and all types of horses. But there's a different approach to training. Some people cowboy horses, some people are just natural horsemen. And so I learned the proper way and became a natural horseman.
Okay. So
And then somehow I landed up at the greatest show on earth.
I love it. That's indeed. And speaking of horses, I understand your dad started the Bill Pickett Rodeo.
Yes. My lovely in heaven surrogate father, he Lou Bassani started the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo back in 1984. It's actually the only black touring rodeo in the country.
Right. Now, it was a long time before I knew who Bill Pickett was. Can you explain and tell people who Bill Pickett was? Because he was pretty doggone important. And a lot of people don't know that, don't know who he is.
Oh, yeah, Bill Pickett was very important. I mean, Bill Pickett's under the names of Nat Love and all those other great cowboys back in the day. Bill Pickett invented the art of bulldogging. He hit the bottom of the lip style where he would jump off, bite him on the lip, and turn him over on the back.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, but in the rodeo, at the beginning of the rodeo, they portrayed different acts, different characters, not acts, different characters, and one of the characters is Bill Pickett, and they show the audience actually how Bill Pickett actually did it back in the day. Of course, nobody can do it like Bill Pickett.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So, Kyle, you can do a rodeo, can't you?
Yeah, right. I can't build and ride a horse.
Yeah.
Just get up there and try it. It's like the old saying goes: "There's no cowboy that can't. There's no horse that can't be rode. There's no cowboy that can't be throwed."
I like that. I like that.
So what made you become on a horse? Have you thought your entire life, oh, I want to do this, be able to ride a horse and be able to, do this and do that? Or have you thought about any other job besides that?
Well, I'll tell you this. It's funny you ask that question because my entire life, I've never imagined working for anybody. I've always wanted to do what I loved, what I enjoyed.
Sure.
And so I've been riding horses, like I said, all my life, and riding bucking horses. And I saw a guy by the name of Rex Purefoy. He's from here in Kansas City, and he dresses in all these nudies costumes, all these costumes that you see Dolly Parton, the same people that make Dolly Partons and all these big time country stars. He has almost all of his costumes are made by nudies in Hollywood. And he actually used to be on the Phil Wilson show back in the day. But this guy, he would dress really fancy. His saddles would be silver and gold and black and beautiful. And I said, you know what? I want to be that guy. I want to be just like him. And so he's a trick roper. He's a one-man cowboy show. He does fancy gun twirling, a whip act. I mean, everything. And he's a great horse trainer. So I said, I want to do that. And so I set myself to that. I got my horses, I got my ropes, and I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to do all this stuff. I taught myself how to do fancy trick roping. I taught myself how to train trick horses, just by watching him and just knowing that's what I really wanted to do. That's why, I always say you too can make your dream come true, because no matter who you are, if you want to do something, you could do it.
Yes.
You could definitely do it. I don't care who you are or what you want to do or what your goal is. You can always reach that goal. Yes. Because I could say for sure I did. And in all my Western arts, I taught myself, and I said all the time, I don't know whether I'm half animal or half human, because there's such a great communication between me and those animals when I train, and I can never teach somebody how to train an animal, because I don't know. It's all about feeling. I tell people all the time, training animals is just like people or kids or anybody. They're all different, and so you got to approach them different. You got to handle them different. Everyone's different. They have different personalities.
Have you rode a bull?
Yes.
But that was difficult.
That was a great, rushing, scary, crazy experience. That's why I enjoy doing what I do right now.
There you go.
Then, wait, you're a circus clown, correct? Did you start as a circus clown?
Nope.
You started as the pre-show host.
How you great? This is another great question. So let me tell you. So after rodeoing, I worked for one company, which is called Hurl Pinners. It's a man's fashion store here in Kansas City. They moved me out to Denver, Colorado to open up one of their stores and to run one of their stores. And I went out there and I did that for a while. I was hired by the Pinners themselves. And I realized, you know what? I need to pursue my dream, what I said I was going to do. I need to entertain, and that's what I like to do, and that's what I want to do. So as quiet as it's kept, I went to Ringling. Ringling was in Denver at the time. They were down at the Pepsi Center. I believe it was Pepsi Center, the Coliseum down there. So I went down there applying for a regular job. I didn't care what it was. I just needed to get in. Oh yeah, I learned how to get my way through and get what I want through all these years.
All I gotta do is get in.
So I got in, and I went in as a groom. To be honest, a groom when I first started. And once I got in, I got to Vegas and I met the talent scout, which his name was Tim Holtz. I was nervous, but I had my packet, I had my DVD, I had my program books that I've been in throughout the rodeo, my rodeo career. And so I said, you know what, this is the perfect time. So I slid that to him while I was doing that. Meanwhile, I became the head of the barn, which is like the barn manager. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I got a phone call from Tim Holtz saying, Kenneth Feld wants to see what you do, wants to see your act. And so he said they're gonna pay for everything, your trip and everything. Yeah, and so I was in Vegas. By this time it was August. And I said, okay, so I left the show. I went home. They gave me 2 or 3 weeks to go home, get my horses together, and drive down to Austin, Texas. So let me tell you, I was on my way to Austin, Texas. I get to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. My truck and trailer breaks down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, all bad. So I couldn't show them the horses. So I had to leave the horses there, but I rented a car and I just kept on trucking. Wow. And so I got down there and I explained it to them. They put me up in a hotel, and it was Nicole, Bonnie Feld and Kenneth Feld. And I get ready to come in the arena. I come down, I get a bull tub, which is one of the tubs that the elephants stand on in the show. And I jump on it. I say, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I'm your ringmaster, Andre McClain, and this is my invisible horse, Joan. Because I had no horse, so.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I saw him start laughing, and I just went on with my spiel. I announced, I did some announcing like that. I did some roping, I did my whip stuff, I did everything. And, but just without the horse. And by the time I was done, I stepped off the bull stool, I walked over to Mr. Feld, and he shook my hand. He said, if you want to be a part of the Circus family, we're more than happy to welcome you, and I'll have 10 hopes to send you out a contract. And that's how I ended up. And then I became the pre-show host. But yeah, Kyle, to answer your question, I started off as a groom, born manager, pre-show host, animal trainer, ringmaster.
It's interesting. I've never thought.
So yeah,
Behind the
that's
scenes.
the entire story of how I became where I am now.
Yeah.
And then you're the very first equestrian ringmaster, correct?
I'm the first singing equestrian ringmaster.
Singing, I got that part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Because the original ringmasters, they were equestrians.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that at all.
Questions. Is that just the horses when you're the equestrian ringmaster? Or are there other animals involved in the equestrian?
Well, it's horses, but once I joined Ringling, I started to work with a variety of animals. I mean, other than horses, I've worked with zebras and zedonks and camels and llamas and goats and
Everybody.
donkeys and I mean, when I was a groom, I was actually working in the elephant department at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was
What
the
was that?
best
What-
poop-
what-
I was
what's
the
the-
best pooper scooper in history.
What was the experience behind all that?
I mean, it was great. To be honest with you, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about elephants. I mean, they're beautiful and precious and very, they're so big, but also so gentle and so cuddly. It makes you just want to hug them and kiss them and love them.
An
You know.
elephant, gentle
Yes.
and cuddly.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed every bit of, I don't regret no step that I done with Ringling, and I'm glad I started at the beginning. That way I could experience and see the behind the scenes, meet the trainers, see how they train, all the way up until where I am now. And so I've enjoyed every bit of it. It's amazing to see the relationship between those elephants and the trainers and the people, man. It's like, wow. Wow, and I'm a trainer, and I was still wowed.
When you use the word trainer, what that always get me at the circus is when you have those lions and tigers and the whip and making them jump through hoops and stuff. I'm going, ooh, boy.
Let me tell you.
Get
Now,
ugly.
there's some things that I would never do, and that's one of them. I mean,
That scared me even thinking about it.
oh yeah.
But now
I mean, Tabayada and Mark Gable and the Gunther Gables of the world. I mean, I saw this video on Gunther, and he had leopards and panthers and tigers and everything all in one cage. And at one point in this video, he even laid down on the ground, and they all laid on top of him. They all laid on top of him. He said a word. They got up and put them all back on their pedestals. It's like amazing. So anybody that can get in the cage with cats, I'm not gonna fool with them. I'm not gonna mess with them. That lets you know right there that there has to be some type of relationship between
Yeah.
that trainer and those animals.
A great
Because-
relationship.
Great.
I'm afraid to go around them when they're in the cage for fear they're gonna break the bars or something and get me. So
You know,
I'm scared of kitty cats.
me too.
A lot of people ask them, and I'm sure it happened in the old days, but what's your take on how those animals were treated,
Oh man, tremendously well. Just like I said, I'm an animal trainer myself. So when you see that, and you see that relationship, and you see that bond, and we're not even gonna talk about the amount of money that the Ringling put into their animals. we're talking about the relationship between the trainers, these animals, their grooms, just between them all. I mean, they had immaculate care. I mean, I wish I had that good of care. I mean, those those elephants are bathed daily. I mean, they're well taken care of. I mean, they eat over 100 pounds of food a day. I mean, it's just amazing. And I just can't say it enough about the relationship because that tells it all within itself. Yeah. And it's just like with me and my horses or anything else. When you see that bond, you see that relationship. That's something you can't break. I mean, that's a bond that you have with your kids. That's a bond you have with your wife. That's a bond that you have. And heck, I think they have better bonds with these animals than they have with the wives. I mean, don't tell my wife, but I know I do.
That's for sure, man. I tell you, that bond has to be strong.
And when you became Ringmaster, your only show was Built to Amaze, correct?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I did the Built to Amaze on the Red Show, and then I went to the Gold Show with Built to Amaze also.
Well, Andre, I got a little present for you too. I want to show you this.
Oh yeah.
Look at that! I haven't seen that picture in so long.
Man,
unbelievable.
Takes you back, huh?
You were a baby, man.
Yeah, it was.
Kyle looked like he's about 5 years old.
I mean, Kyle. I mean, I don't know if you're looking older and I'm looking younger, or if it's vice versa. Kyle, you're not supposed to laugh at that. You're supposed to just say, "Okay, Andre, you're right."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Andre, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Kyle, I think people like Andre has made you want to run away with the circus.
Well, if it was still around, I would. I missed the opportunity when David was retiring there auditioning, but.
Well, I tell you what, it's Circus is still around. It's always going to be around, and you can always be a part. It's like my kids. I mean, they all want to be a part of the circus. They think they are the circus.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's another great thing that happened to me on Ringling. One of the first things I had a chance for my older kids to travel with me. My daughter Justice and my son Miguel, they was able to travel with me everywhere I went, and my daughter actually went to school through Ringling.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, so that was awesome. And I mean, just like most of the performers' parents on Ringling, we had our own school, so that was like awesome. And then I have my youngest two right now, 4 and 3. And every time they go to the circus, man, they're excited. I mean, Daddy, are we going to the circus? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, is that where we're going, Daddy? And I met my wife on the circus, so a lot of good things came out of being a part of Ringling.
I imagine your kids would have something to tell the rest of the other kids where they went to school. Where'd you go to school? I went to school with the tigers, with them, Me and the elephant was kind of cool. My elephant was my mentor, Kids will look at the other kids like, what? I imagine that was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So
are you still with Circus? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I'm still with Circus. Well, of course not now, but because of this wonderful,
COVID-19 pandemic,
crazy pandemic that we have right now. But no, I do I do 95% of the shows for Circus United. That's with Fletcher Runyon and Shane Johnson. I do most of the shows, which is mostly Shriner shows. Mm-hmm. And last year I did a couple of fairs. So yeah, I still do Circus. That's my number one thing.
Yeah. Do you still talk with all your buddies over at Ringling?
Oh yes. My good buddy, my brother in Circus, Jonathan Lee Iverson.
Ah, yes.
We talked to him the other day.
Yeah.
That's somebody. I mean, he's actually the one who got me through, helped me get through helped me survive. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, I came in and you know, I was a cowboy. I was a rodeo, so I'm straightforward. I don't believe in the politics.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cowboy.
Yeah.
And every time I had an idea or a thought or I wanted to say something, Jonathan would pull me back and says, Andre, hold back. and he did that for years. And I mean, even till the end, he was that way with me because you know I can be a firecracker.
Yeah.
You know, I've got lots of energy, but I'm a firecracker.
Yeah. And Jonathan's quite a guy.
He's absolutely wonderful. So
shout out to you, Jonathan.
Oh yeah, and so we him and then you know everybody just becomes close and family and start helping each other out. I don't know if you know Ryan Henning and the Bellow Knox and I mean those are some of the people that also just helped me through.
That's cool.
Right.
But no, it was a great experience. It's a weird transition. So I felt like I kind of went from the greatest show on dirt to the greatest show on earth.
Would you ever go back to rotoring? Roading? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not rodeoing. I'm not going back to riding wild
Go
horses.
back to the rodeo.
I'll go back to the rodeo
Yes.
and entertain with my trick horses and trick roping and stuff like that. But actual rodeoing, no. I've gotten too used to being able to wear these duds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going back to Bill Pickett, it's still around today, I'm guessing, correct?
Yes. I mean, they're still touring. They're still touring all over.
They're a touring group.
Yeah, it's a touring rodeo. They have a finals rodeo at the end of the year. They tour all year long. If I remember right, it starts off in Memphis in the beginning of the year and it ends in Washington at the end of the year. But it's the first black touring rodeo, and if I'm not mistaken, I've been out of the business for a long time, so I'm gonna tell you what I think I know. But started off as the first only black touring rodeo, and if I'm not mistaken, it's still the only black touring rodeo till today. And when I say touring, I mean non-stop tour. They have a full tour.
Oh, okay.
So
And they just travel on the road for a full year.
So and it's just like any other competition. You know, it starts off at the beginning of the year, and may the best man make it to the end.
There you go. Absolutely. And you know, the other thing I really like about the things that you do, the things I used to do in the acting or whatever, in the movies or something, when you look back on what you've done and you think, well, I retired. You didn't retire from the post office. You didn't retire as a mechanic. You didn't retire as the guy that worked at the drugstore. I mean, you did. We did some things that people just don't do. And you tell people, well, I'm a ringmaster for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. Huh? They just can't imagine a lot of people would do things like that. When we're going to school, we're taught to be a mechanic or get a job at the grocery store, or go to McDonald's. But when you do something kind of like off the grid that everyone doesn't do, and you look back on it and say, I was in this for 20 years, 30 years, or I made a living doing this, I retired from this. It's such a good feeling.
That's it, man. And you forget so much. Mm-hmm. You forget, and you don't think about everything that you've done. I know.
Yes.
Like for me, sometimes in order to bring myself back, I have to go back, like you said, sit back and think about everything I've done, everywhere I've been. I mean, when I first started off the Ringling, I took a lot of things for granted. I mean, we would travel by train. We traveled all over the country. I mean, we've seen parts of the country that nobody else has ever seen, or some people will never see. And so I look back at all that stuff, and even from the beginning of my career, I can honestly say that 90% of my life, I basically worked for myself, and I did what I loved. you forget because you do what you love, you do what you enjoy, and so it doesn't seem like work. It seems like I've been having fun my entire life.
You're getting paid to do what you would pay them to do. It's
Exactly.
so amazing. I was an actor for 50 years, and I walked at the Tucson Mall. I was part of the Tucson Mall walkers when they called malls were open. But one of the mall walkers that walked with us, he went home and he looked me up on IMDb, and he printed out pictures of all of my movies on
Yes.
IMDb, and he brought it back and showed it to me, and I'm looking through it, and I said, wait a minute, I did do that in this movie, Pucker Up and Bark Like a Dog, that nobody ever heard about back in the 1980s. And I forgot about this one, I forgot about that. And you look back on it and say, wow, I really did do that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot it. And it's such an amazing feeling. It really is.
You know what's funny is because there's another question that just popped in my head. Would you ever want to be in TV and movies and non-performing arts, or would you rather just stick with the performing arts aspect of it?
To be honest with you, I don't know how I would be in movies or acting. I mean, I'm such a live entertainer type of person to where I don't know. I mean, would I? Oh yeah, of course I would.
Yeah, yes. And get those residuals from
Exactly.
years ago. I'm still getting paid for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which
See,
that's still
that's my retirement right there.
yeah, we did it 30 years ago. And it's still so yeah. You're right. Keep those
Exactly.
correction letters coming in, folks.
But no, I don't know. I mean, I did. I mean, it was still plays, but that's still live. So I don't know if I answer your question. I don't know if I would be a great actor in front of a camera alone versus live entertainment, because I feed so much off the audience to where you're going to get a different entree with the live audience than what you will if I'm just in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got people in front of me, the show is on.
That immediate reaction. Yeah, we do a movie, it may not come out for 2 years. You've done 4 other movies, and this one is just now coming out. So yeah, it's quite a feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So Kyle, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you want my job? Do you like my job?
I love how
Wouldn't that be a dream come true?
Yeah, I tell you, no. Andre, he's an actor. I loved how you said that with that look on your face and that. Do you want my job? That was good. No, you're quite an actor. You're an actor. You're my kind of guy, man. I'm gonna be like you when I grow up, man.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
what made you decide to leave Ringling after one show being, the greatest job you had?
Well, because they were closing up too.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, you've known
they-
it back when?
Hmm?
You knew they were closing when you were on the job still?
No, because I was on the Gold Show at the time, and they closed down the Gold Show first.
That's right.
And so I actually went from the Gold Show, and they moved me over to Monster Jam, and I moved over to announce Monster Jam.
And you stopped that.
Yeah, and then after that, that's when they closed the other shows. Started closing the other shows.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why you kept on going
Yeah,
with it. The circus.
But no, I mean, I could have stayed there my entire life. I would have loved to stay there my entire life. Hey, I mean, travel by train, live on the train, see lots of things,
Yeah.
have lots of fun,
Yeah.
make lots of money.
There you go.
I'm sure the pay was good on
Cards and
that, too.
letters are kind of important. Yeah.
Good insurance.
There you go.
I mean, I can keep on going on and on and on.
Yeah. I just had a question here. Speaking of horses and equestrian and everything, have you had, I'm sure this exists, but have you had a lot of experience with horse whisperers?
Yeah.
They exist, or I
mean, we all want to call ourselves horse whisperers.
yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, I've never met one.
Okay.
I could
always wondered about that.
I could boast if I wanted to and say, you know what, I'm a horse whisperer, but really, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the horse going, no, I don't feel like doing that, buddy.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, come on, man. I want you to jump over this thing. It's only 6 feet. Nah, man.
No. There's
Just check it,
No, there's horsemen, but there's no horse whisperers. And if anybody ever tell you they are, if you're watching, I guarantee you're not.
I had to ask that. Okay.
Well, Alex, you got any more questions for Mr. Andre McClain?
Well, I tell you, among a lot of other questions he's answered, I really love that horse whisperer answer. I've been wondering about that.
No, let me tell you. If anybody ever tells you they're not, you look them in the face. If anybody tells you they are, I'm a horse whisperer. You look them in the face and say, you're alive. Just look at my video with Andre McClain and he'll tell you you're alive. Because, man, think about it. Every horse, it's like we talked earlier. Every animal's different. Every horse is different. It's just like me saying I'm a people whisperer.
Yeah.
You know
I can see a people whisperer before I see a horse whisperer. But you know what? I guess you could whisper to her if you check the book of whispering.
Well, there is a good point there.
The book of whispering. You can whisper to them.
If we was in the court of law,
you can whisper back.
Exactly.
There's the rub.
If we was in a court of law, you would be absolutely correct right now, and they would be correct because, I'm a horse whisperer. Yes, actually, yes, I am. I whisper to my horses sometimes.
Yeah. I whisper to him all the time. He just never whisper back, and you got it. That's you telling the truth.
I'm guessing you have your own ranch and all that over by you right now.
Yes. And I spend my days right now, either I'm at a ranch training horses, either for myself or somebody else, or I am on a fish bank fishing. I go fishing every day.
Wow.
And whisper to the fish.
Whisper to the fish. Get on the hook. Get on the hook.
Boy, yell at him. You yell at him from across the river. Hey, I ain't get on this hook, man. Hey, you, you. So he yells at him more than this guy from the riverbank.
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I used to go fish with my dad, and so we would sit on the fish bank and throw a pole in, and I would sit there and say, "Bite fish, bite, bite fish, bite, bite fish, bite."
That's amazing.
I think I used to go fishing. I don't think I've been fishing since 1979. My fishing buddy back in 1969 used to go fishing with him all the time. Bill Cravens used to work for ABC television with him. He passed away, and that was my fishing buddy. He got me into fishing, and we used to go out a lot. And I used to hang out with my buddy Bill Cravens. Used to call him the Monster. And, and he passed away on me, and I just couldn't think myself throwing another pole in the water, But I'll get around to it, I guess.
Oh yeah, you have to. It's relaxing.
Yeah. And now if I do go back out there, this is no kidding, Andre, this is no kidding. It just came to me. If I go back out there fishing, I'm going to think about you, and I'm going to scream at those fish across the river. I'm going to yell at them, hey, Joey, get on the pole, man. Hey, Andre told me to get the call over here.
Just make sure you record it.
Tell him to get on the pole. I'm going to think about you, man. Serious.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you record that because I got to see it.
Yeah. In honor of you, I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
And you know
That's
what?
awesome.
What's going to be strange? I'll probably catch a lot of fish like that, too.
You probably will.
Jump on the pole.
Just make sure you give me credit.
Yeah. They're gonna be honoring Andre too, man. They say, yeah, Andre's pretty cool, man. I get on it.
That's awesome. I don't know. It's just staying there and wait till the cab. Shocked that you like that stuff, but
Man.
Kyle is either golfing or fishing. I choose fishing.
Yeah.
you guys golfing the same way, huh? You stand there and hit the ball, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I love it. Yeah, this is great, man. This is great, man. And for somebody that is doing things like you're doing, man, you and Jonathan Lee Iverson and stuff, you guys are out there doing it, man, and you're doing things that regular people don't do. You don't even dream about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing it.
And it's time to pass it to the next generation or work on the next generation and teaching the next generation and because we don't want it to be a lost art,
what's the next generation?
Whoever's willing to learn.
Yeah.
Well, the next generation for me would probably be the kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
how do you
they
learn?
might take my job.
Well, the other thing too is what you are doing. You're showing kids and showing not only kids or adults, also a profession that they would have never thought about normally.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't grow up thinking I'm going to be a ringmaster or I'm going to ride horses or I'm going to go into movies and do stunts. I did stunts for a while. You go to school, at least in my era, you go to school and they tell you how to be a mechanic or they don't even tell you how to be a lawyer. They tell you to work at McDonald's and you gotta go to the post office. But to be a ringmaster or going to the movies or find out they have a job where you get paid residuals, you do a movie and they pay you 30, 40 years later for the same thing over and you teach upcoming generations about that. And they go, wow, you can do that. They have a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
And I think kids, most especially kids, when they're growing up, they need to be introduced to different things.
Oh, you have to. They absolutely have to.
Yeah, I met this kid years ago, and he found out I was in the movies. Oh, this was 45 years ago. He found out I was in the movies, and he lived in the neighborhood, and they were doing a movie about, they needed some kids in the movie, so I told him to ask his mom if he could be in the movie, just an extra walking around in the background. His mom said no, because he would have had to be out of school for one day.
Yeah.
So his mom wouldn't let him get out of school for one day. And now he's doing, I forgot what he's doing. I think he's working for the post office or something. I saw him, I ran into him years later. And he said he wished his mom would have let him go on that movie set to see what the movie set was like. And he really think he would have found a career in the movies. But just for one day out of school, he would have found out what another career he wanted to do, but his mom wouldn't let him do it. Now he's on a job he hates. That's what the point is, I think kids growing up need to be introduced to different things.
Yep.
Find out what you want.
You have to.
So,
You have to. You got to show them a little bit of everything and let them decide.
Yes.
But still open that whole world up to them where they can see it.
Yes.
I'm thankful now. Any show I go do, I take my mom with me, and if I would have told her years ago that that I was going that I was going to be a professional ringmaster or entertainer and make lots of money and doing what I do, she would have probably looked at me and said, "Boy, if you don't get your butt in school, but now she has a chance to actually be there and witness it and see it and be a part of it, and so it's a beautiful thing. But you're right, you got to introduce them to it. You got to show them. You got to give them options.
Yeah.
There's a big world out there.
Yeah. And my dad made me do a play at my church when I was 12 years old. I didn't want to do it. I told the elders of my church I didn't want to do it. Then the elders of my church went to my dad. And my dad said, he'll do it. Did that play at 12 years old, got a standing ovation. I was hooked. I didn't want to do the play. My dad made me do it. I loved it. And that's when I said I was going to be an actor. Then when I told my mom I was going to be an actor, my mom said, why do you want to do that? People that make it, there's very few people that make it. Get you a job, go here and go there. Why you want to do that? And my dad asked me the same question, why I wanted to do that, become an actor. And I respectfully said, I kind of got scared to say this to him because you don't want to sound like you're talking back.
Yeah.
If he had a dream, I was saying something that, So he said, well, yeah, well, how come you want to act? And I said, you made me do the play. and he had to say, he had to shut up. He made me do the play.
That's it.
So he had to respect that. And
I was raised in that same era.
When I started acting, then my mom and everybody was so proud of me. But yeah, you got it. If I had never been introduced, if the elders of my church, when I was 12 years old, if they would have listened to me, no, I don't want to do that play. Thank God they went to my dad, and my dad made me do it. So you got to introduce them to it. And I wonder what would I have been into? And the other thing I think I was born to be an actor because I'm the youngest of 4 boys. And all of my brothers, we were born in different states. My oldest brother was born in Arkansas. My next brother was born in Memphis, Tennessee. My next brother was born in St. Louis, Missouri. And I was born in Los Angeles, California. So I asked my mom and dad, were you on the run? Were you Bonnie and Clyde or something? No. But he said, no, he was moving his family. He didn't want a family to grow up in Arkansas, so he was moving to California. Thank God he moved to California, or I would have never been in the movie business. He's the only one of my family, both my brothers was born in Los Angeles, and I would have never been introduced to the movies. And thank God for that, and thank God he made me do that play. So
Yeah.
introduce these kids. Kyle, introduce your kids to wherever you.
Wherever I'm at.
And Kyle, be firm. Be firm. I'm like that. I grew up firm. My dad was the same way. Very firm. Fair, but firm.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter's so funny. I'll tell you this real quick. My daughter's coming to visit from Denver in a couple of weeks. And she's 21. She's bringing her boyfriend with her. She says, Dad, can you just be the cool dad?
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Enjoy it now because it won't be like this for long. If you run around 5 years old, holding on to your leg, saying, Daddy, don't go, Mommy, don't go. Enjoy that when you can, buddy.
When they come down, this Ringmaster suit comes off.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yes, sir. But yeah, hey, this has been a blast for me. Andrea. It's been like,
It's been great. It's been great.
Shout out to Lynn for getting us connected, and I appreciate your time with us tonight, especially at whatever time is over there, like 9, 10 o'clock at night over there.
It's going on 10.
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's fun here.
Real quick before we end tonight's video or show, next Friday night we have Murray Sawcheck, celebrity magician, all the way direct from Las Vegas. This guy's got like 1 million views on YouTube, more like 1 billion, but he's got his own show at the forget what hotel he's at in Las Vegas. So that should be a quick shot. And then we're going to show you a quick video of Murray before we end tonight's show. So here we go. Eric, you want to cue that video?
Hold on, dude. Let me tell you something. You got complaints? Yeah.
Back here drinking, we don't allow people out here with bottles of glass back here just drinking anywhere.
Man, it's Vegas, though.
And now you're doing it in front of me.
You wanna sip?
No, I don't think
Well,
so.
here, hold on, wait. Let me just,
Now
here.
you're doing it in front of me.
Hang on, let me just, how about if I do this? Now you don't see it, man. See it just like this? I don't even have it. You don't even know I have it. This could be like a statue.
You still have
Or,
it, sir.
how if I just do that? I mean, nothing. How about that? Is that better, man?
You have something. I saw
Nothing.
something.
That's
You
it.
did something.
I have nothing.
What'd you do?
I don't have anything.
Dude.
Ed, here, do me a favor. I want to make sure that this is the right part, so if you don't mind opening it, and if it's not right, it saves me coming back again. All right, man? So, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Hey, look, if you just sign this for me, right? Okay, don't move. Hold on. Hang on. Come on. Come on, little guy. Don't move. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Here, you know what? Come here. Seriously, you know what? I'm so tired of this. Come here. You know what? Stand right there. Seriously. No, stay right there. Seriously. You know, I'm so tired of you just yelling and bitching at me every single time. Honestly, I'm so tired of it. Oh. This is your blanket?
Yeah.
Can I use this for a second?
Yeah.
Here, do me a favor. What's your name?
Dustin.
Dustin, here. Dustin, I'm going to hold this up just like this. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to cover your card up just like this, okay?
Yeah.
I know it's Thanksgiving, so I'm going to lift this up here. And this is right here for you. And this is a little something for you for Thanksgiving, buddy. Thanks for your service.
All right.
Thanks for everything. You have a good day, all right?
You
Have a good
too,
day, all right,
man.
man?
Thank you.
Love you. Here. Check out the sign. And go. Check it out. Ah!
Yeah, you can, and I'll write you a ticket for jaywalking.
You wouldn't
How's
do
that?
that, would you?
Oh, yeah, I would.
Why just right? There's nobody
I'm
here.
telling you, no crossing the street. Go to the car.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks again. All right. Have a great day. All right. Give me a ticket.